You're not lost. You're between chapters. Carl Jung's quantum truth. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Carl Jung. If you've been feeling uncertain, stuck, or like you've somehow missed your path, pause. You're not broken. You're simply between chapters. What if this moment of confusion is actually the sacred space where your soul is rewriting its story? In today's video, we'll explore Carl Jung's quantum truth that being lost is often the first sign you're on the verge of profound alignment. So ask yourself, what if the universe isn't closing doors, but redirecting you toward the chapter where your real transformation begins? Let us know in the comments, have you ever felt more you after walking through uncertainty? And don't forget to like, share this with someone who needs clarity, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom for more insight that awakens your spirit. 1. You're not lost. You're in a sacred transition. You're not lost. You're in a sacred recalibration where your energy no longer fits the life you once built. This isn't failure. It's the wisdom of your soul outgrowing its previous limitations. When your passions go quiet, your relationships feel out of sync, and your goals blur into fog. That's not a crisis. It's a sign that you're no longer resonating with the frequency of your old identity. Carl Jung said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." This pain isn't punishment. It's an intelligent signal that you've stepped into the quantum space between what was and what will be. In this transitional state, your energy exists in multiple possibilities, just like a particle in superposition. You haven't lost direction. You're being refined. The world outside may not reflect the evolution inside, and that dissonance is the friction you feel. It's the stretch between chapters, where the old story fades, but the new one hasn't fully formed. You're not behind. You're becoming. The discomfort is sacred. It means you're not settling for the familiar lie anymore. You're waiting, intuitively, for truth to land. Jung's concept of individuation teaches that deep transformation doesn't happen through force, but through integration. You're integrating lifetimes of patterns, expectations, and projections into a new alignment. It's not meant to be fast. It's meant to be real. And that realness requires solitude, stillness, and surrender. The quantum field responds not to desperation, but to presence. That's why trying to control or rush this phase will only disconnect you from the wisdom it holds. You are not broken. You are unraveling everything that isn't truly you. In this in-between, the mind will crave certainty, but the soul is asking for trust. You are experiencing decoherence, the dissolving of what no longer holds energetic truth. It's an invitation to meet yourself beyond ego, beyond labels, beyond performance. Intelligence and spiritual wisdom teaches that some of the most profound leaps come after long periods of stillness. Like the seed buried in soil, nothing visible is happening, but everything essential is unfolding underground. So when life feels quiet, when the outer world stops reflecting your inner fire, that's not stagnation, it's divine preparation. The universe isn't testing you, it's sinking you. You are being stretched into higher dimensions of alignment, beyond what your former self could even dream. Don't panic when the old ambition fades. Don't chase noise to fill the silence. This stillness is sacred. This gap is the portal. The next version of you is not something you chase. It's something you remember into being, and it's already forming in the dark. Comment below. I trust the sacred transition if you're ready to embrace this powerful in-between space and allow your next chapter to unfold with spiritual wisdom. 2. The discomfort is a prelude to transformation. The discomfort you're feeling right now is not evidence that you've lost your way. It's the echo of a soul outgrowing its past. What you're moving through is not a breakdown, but a sacred recalibration. Your nervous system is not malfunctioning. It's adapting to a new energetic code. Your mind may call this chaos, but your spirit knows it as the quiet before a quantum leap. As Carl Jung reminds us, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. This is not regression. This is resurrection in slow motion. And in this strange, in-between space, where nothing makes sense, your soul is slowly being rewritten to match the future version of you, the one aligned with higher truth, deeper peace, and radical inner freedom. This void, often called the zero-point field, is where everything and nothing exists at once. It is the womb of transformation, the place between who you were and who you are becoming. And while most people frantically try to escape it by changing jobs, forcing clarity, or seeking quick external validation, the truth is that presence, not performance, is the bridge across this unknown. There is nothing you need to fix. In fact, the more you try to fix, the more you resist the very intelligence that's trying to flow through you. This is not a time for hustle. It's a time for surrender. You don't need a plan. You need permission to be still. You don't need answers. You need alignment. And you certainly don't need perfection. You need presence. Your energy is shifting in ways your conscious mind cannot comprehend. That's why old desires suddenly feel empty. That's why conversations that once gave you life now feel hollow. That's why you feel detached from ambitions that used to light a fire inside you. What's happening is not confusion. It's clarity preparing to land. Your inner world is reordering itself so that your external world can catch up. And it's deeply uncomfortable because it requires you to release everything that is no longer true, including the identities that kept you safe but small. You are no longer compatible with your old frequency, and that dissonance you feel, it's the friction of evolution. In spiritual awakening, this is known as the dark night of the soul. But it's also the birthplace of divine consciousness. This chapter may be quiet, even painful, but it is sacred. It's a space where the universe whispers instead of shouts, where silence becomes the language of wisdom, where your job is not to fix your life, but to let your life reveal itself to you. Modern society teaches us to act, to fix, to plan. But spiritual wisdom teaches us that in certain seasons, the bravest thing you can do is wait, to breathe through the unknown, to grieve what is leaving and trust what is forming, even when you cannot name it yet. This isn't stagnation, it's sacred preparation. You are shedding timelines, releasing karmic weights, integrating quantum lessons. And all of this is happening beneath the surface, where your eyes cannot see, but your soul can feel. So let go. Let go of the pressure to know what's next. Let go of the expectation to feel inspired. Let go of the need to explain yourself to people who wouldn't understand your transformation anyway. This chapter isn't about proving, it's about purifying. The fire isn't here to destroy you, it's here to refine you. You're not off track, you're off script. And that's exactly where your soul wants you. Your intuition is louder in the quiet. Your truth is sharper in the stillness. And your next chapter will not be built from force. It will rise from alignment. You are being recoded to hold more light, more love, more truth than ever before. Trust that. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are simply between chapters. And when the next one begins, you will carry the wisdom of everything you learned in the silence. Leave a like if this message resonates with your journey. And don't forget to subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of awakening. Comment below. I embrace the discomfort. Transformation is near. To affirm your sacred transition. 3. Your identity is melting for a reason. Like a caterpillar dissolving inside the cocoon, your sense of identity is quietly breaking down. And though it feels disorienting, it's not chaos. It's transformation. You're not failing. You're not broken. You're in a sacred phase of becoming, where everything you once knew about yourself is being stripped away, not to punish you, but to make space for the next version of you. Carl Jung said, "In all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order." What looks like a disorder in your life right now is actually spiritual intelligence at work, rearranging the architecture of your soul in ways your logical mind can't yet understand. The passions that used to light you up might now feel hollow. Conversations may seem shallow. The life you built might suddenly feel too small. But that doesn't mean you're lost. It means you've outgrown your previous frequency. This is the space between chapters, and though it's silent, it's profoundly sacred. There is no map for this part of the journey. Only presence. Only trust. Your job is not to force answers, but to surrender to the mystery. You don't need to rush to define what comes next. Instead, breathe into the unknown and allow the new self to emerge from within. In a culture obsessed with productivity, we often confuse stillness with failure. But real spiritual development doesn't happen in the doing. It happens in the undoing. That's why this stage feels so uncomfortable. You are shedding outdated patterns, roles, and attachments that once kept you safe. And the mind, desperate for control, will beg for clarity. But clarity isn't your task right now. Your task is to soften into the unknown, to trust the alchemy of uncertainty, and to let the inner shift complete its cycle. As Jung reminded us, who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. You are being called inward to awaken, not by chasing something new, but by letting go of what no longer reflects your truth. This is the hidden power of the cocoon. Everything dissolves so the impossible can be born. The world will tell you to fix, to solve, to hurry. But your soul knows this is a time to listen deeply and honor the sacred pause. You are not falling apart. You are expanding. You are learning to live without the armor of old identities. And this inner dismantling, though painful, is a necessary part of your spiritual awakening. The person you're becoming cannot be built on outdated beliefs, fears, or survival patterns. It requires honesty. It requires emptiness. It requires trust. So breathe, feel, be. You don't need to know what's next. You only need to know that at this moment, this space of not knowing is where your next chapter is already being written. Not with effort, but with presence. Not with control, but with surrender. This is the essence of spirituality. The ability to stand in the fire of your own transformation without reaching for escape. You are not lost. You are in divine transition. You are melting, not to disappear, but to become something more aligned, more expansive, more true. Let go. Trust the unseen and allow your new self to rise. Do you feel your old self dissolving to make room for something greater? Then this message is for you. Type in the comments, "I am shedding what no longer serves me," to affirm your transformation. 4. Quantum leaps require coherence, not effort. In the quantum field, transformation isn't driven by force. It's summoned by coherence. When your energy is scattered, no amount of effort can override the chaos within. But when your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs harmonize into a clear frequency, you become a magnet for change. You don't push your way into a new reality. You collapse into it. This is not about hustle. It's about alignment. You match the frequency of who you are becoming, not by doing more, but by being more still, more aware, more surrendered. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And in this sacred space between chapters, fate is being rewritten by your frequency, not your fight. The discomfort you feel isn't proof you're lost. It's a sign that the old life no longer fits. Your soul is shedding skins, not because you're failing, but because you're evolving. When nothing makes sense and everything feels still, that's not stagnation, that's recalibration. The mind wants to label this pause as weakness, but the truth is, this stillness is coded with spiritual intelligence. It's preparing your nervous system to hold a new identity. You may feel detached from old passions, disconnected from people who once mattered, or uninspired by goals that used to light you up. That's not apathy, it's alignment shifting. You're no longer available for anything that doesn't match the frequency of your becoming. Coherence is a silent kind of power. It means your heart no longer negotiates with what drains you. It means your body becomes a compass and rest becomes sacred. It means you stop betraying your inner truth just to be understood. The moment you stop chasing outcomes and start trusting the pull of your intuition, everything begins to move. In quantum terms, reality responds to the observer's state of being. And when your being is calm, clear, and congruent with your highest vision, you collapse the wave of infinite potential into a particle of manifested truth. The shift doesn't happen through force. It happens through frequency. This is spiritual wisdom in motion. It's remembering that you don't have to prove your worth through pain. You don't have to earn joy by suffering first. You don't have to fight to belong. You already belong to your future, to your purpose, to the next timeline that is already waiting for you to meet it with grace, not resistance. Carl Jung reminded us that there is no coming to consciousness without pain, but that pain is not a prison, it's a portal. The stillness you're standing in is not the end of the story. It's the silent paragraph between plot twists. You are not lost. You are being prepared for a leap so aligned that when it arrives, you won't have to force a single thing. You will simply recognize the frequency and return to yourself. 5. Stillness is the signal, not the absence of progress. The stillness you feel is not an error in your path, nor a punishment from the universe. It is the sacred recalibration before your transformation unfolds. This silence is not the absence of motion. It is the invisible intelligence of the quantum field, scanning your frequency, aligning your soul with the timeline that matches your growth. In spirituality, we are taught that the most powerful awakenings don't arrive with fanfare, but unfold quietly, gently, like a soft sunrise. One day, without warning, you realize you're no longer reactive to the things that once controlled you. The anxiety no longer grips your chest. The overthinking softens, and you begin to feel present, not because the world has changed, but because you have. This is spiritual wisdom in motion, the kind Carl Jung hinted at when he spoke of becoming who you truly are. Real transformation doesn't shout. It settles into your bones and shifts your vibration from the inside out. Stillness is not your enemy, it is your mirror. It reflects who you are without distractions, without ego, without noise. In a culture obsessed with progress, you might feel ashamed for not moving fast. But consider this: trees don't rush to grow. Rivers don't force their flow, and yet they transform landscapes with their quiet power. What if your stillness is not stuckness, but spiritual preparation? What if the universe is holding its breath, waiting for your essence to stabilize before it delivers what you've been asking for? In this space between chapters, your nervous system is healing. Your identity is shedding old layers, and your energy is maturing. The world may not see it, but your soul feels it. You are becoming magnetic. Your presence is learning to speak louder than your words. And while it may seem like nothing is happening, the most intelligent part of you knows this is the calm before your quantum leap. This moment is sacred. It is the cocoon before the wings, the silence before the revelation. Every spiritual awakening contains a chapter like this: a pause, a breath, a retreat inward. If you're in that space now, trust that it is working. Trust that the absence of chaos is not emptiness, but order forming in new patterns. Do not rush to fill the silence. Let it teach you. Let it shape you. Because soon, this stillness will bloom into a reality that reflects the depth you've cultivated in private. You are not lost. You are between versions of yourself. And that space, though invisible and often misunderstood, is the signal, not the absence of profound spiritual transformation. If you believe stillness is sacred, not stagnant, and you're ready to embrace this in-between chapter, like this video, subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom and comment below. I trust the stillness to guide me. Let's align together in faith and intention. 6. You become the signal, not the seeker. You no longer chase the signs, you become the sign. When your identity is rooted in spiritual development, your presence speaks louder than your words, and your energy communicates before you even enter the room. This isn't about chasing momentary spiritual highs or fleeting emotional victories. It's about deep inner alignment, the kind that radiates stability and coherence no matter what's happening around you. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." And in this awakened state, you no longer need validation from the outside world because you've anchored your reality within. Your emotional responses aren't dictated by circumstance anymore. They are guided by the internal frequency you've chosen to hold. You're no longer seeking. You're no longer proving. You've become. The external world starts to rearrange itself in response to your inner clarity. The universe recognizes your frequency, not because you demanded it, but because you maintained it. This is what it means to embody the shift consistently, regardless of whether things are visible yet or not. Spirituality is not a practice of desperate asking. It's a steady radiance. You walk into situations not to get something from them, but to bring your essence to them. People feel your energy shift before you say a word. Circumstances begin to align without manipulation. You don't need to force. You don't need to chase, you hold. You hold the energy of your future self now, not because you're pretending, but because you've remembered who you really are. The power lies in emotional grounding. You're not numb. You're conscious. You don't suppress feelings. You regulate them. Your nervous system becomes your compass, and your calm becomes your protection. The things that once pulled you out of alignment no longer have the same power, not because they disappeared, but because your frequency outgrew them. There is no fear in letting go when you know what you're anchored in. You're not afraid of change because you've become the change maker. That quiet stillness you feel in the middle of uncertainty, that's you standing at the edge of a quantum shift, not by accident, but by design. You're no longer performing spirituality for others to understand you. You're living it in such a way that your reality becomes the evidence. You don't explain your growth. You express it through your presence. There's a point where words fall short and embodiment takes over. That's when people feel you more than they hear you. That's when reality bends, not because you demanded it, but because you matched it. The lesson is clear. Coherence is the key, and identity is the portal. When your inner world becomes the signal, your outer world has no choice but to reflect it. This is the evolution of the seeker into the signal. This is the spiritual intelligence that changes everything. 7. The real test is integration, not initiation. Many people don't fail because they lack the vision of a better life. They fail because they don't know how to hold it. They catch a glimpse of their higher timeline, feel the shift in their energy, maybe even step into a brief moment of clarity, but then they fall back. Not because they're weak, but because they doubt the stillness. They misinterpret the silence that comes with transformation, expecting fireworks when what's happening is far more sacred and internal restructuring. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And that is the real test, not to initiate change, but to integrate it. It's easy to visit your higher self, to have a good day, to wake up early once, to meditate once, to set a boundary once, but it's spiritual intelligence to live as that self every single day, especially when no one's watching, especially when the shift is quiet, especially when no one claps. True transformation happens in the unseen moments. The choices you make when you're tired, the thoughts you reframe in private, the way you refuse to betray yourself even when it's inconvenient. And this is where most people turn back. They expect the new chapter to feel exciting all the time. They expect the quantum leap to be explosive. But in reality, the most powerful leaps are anchored in discipline, in devotion, in sacred structure. It's not about chasing the next high. It's about stabilizing the one you've already touched. If you keep visiting your future self, but never unpack your bags, you'll keep falling into old timelines that feel safer, but cost your soul. Integration means embodying the new frequency, even when the external doesn't yet reflect it. It means you show up with clarity, with grounded presence, even when the world hasn't caught up to your inner shift. That's how you rewire reality from the inside out. You don't need another sign. You don't need to wait for a perfect alignment. The alignment is you. When you commit to structure, to stillness, to inner clarity, your life starts bending around that new signal. Intelligence and spiritual wisdom aren't about dramatic change. They're about consistent embodiment. The version of you that feels light, rooted, powerful, calm, that version exists not in a future event, but in the decision you make right now to stop dipping your toes into your transformation and finally live in it fully. When you stop waiting for permission and start acting like the version of you that already knows, the shift becomes permanent. That's the real test, not whether you can start the journey, but whether you can keep walking it when it gets quiet, when it gets lonely, when it gets real. You are not lost. You're not failing. You're not behind. You're just being called to stop chasing and start integrating. If this message resonated with your soul, declare it with faith in the comments. I trust the process of integration. I am becoming whole. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more hearts can awaken to their true journey. Thank you for spending this time with us on Spiritual Wisdom. If today's message reminded you that you're not lost, but simply between chapters, then trust that your story is still being written in divine timing. The universe often pauses before the most meaningful plot twists, and your next chapter may be closer than you think. If this resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself like this video. Share it with someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to our channel for more deep insights inspired by Carl Jung and spiritual awakening. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss the wisdom meant just for you. We'll see you in the next chapter. Carl Jung reveals, you are a living karma. People regret how they treated you. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. Wayne Dyer. But what if your very existence becomes their karma? What if your growth, your strength, your light becomes the mirror that reveals their own shadows? Carl Jung taught us that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But what about those who mistreat you? In this episode of Spiritual Wisdom, we're diving deep into the unseen spiritual dynamics behind your presence in other people's lives, and why they may one day regret how they treated you. Are you the karmic reflection that wakes others up? Share your story in the comments, and let's explore this profound truth together. 1. Chosen ones are living karma. You were never just a side character in their lives. You were the mirror that shattered their illusions, the storm that cleared their path, the consequence they never saw coming. Every encounter with you was a sacred contract, an energetic agreement written not in ink, but in truth. Those who honored your light were elevated doors opened, clarity arrived, blessings poured in. But those who tried to manipulate you, betray you, or diminish your presence were unknowingly writing their own karmic downfall. Because you didn't just show up with love, you showed up with divine precision. Your presence wasn't convenient. It was catalytic. You walked into rooms with the energy of raw honesty, exposing facades, unraveling masks, and forcing people to confront what they spent years suppressing. The pain they tried to project onto you was their own wound echoing back. They didn't reject you. They rejected the parts of themselves that your purity made impossible to hide. And in doing so, they ignited a karmic chain reaction that would echo through their relationships, their mental clarity, their peace, and their spiritual direction. You weren't sent to entertain people's egos. You were sent to awaken souls. The moment you stepped into your spiritual awakening, everything about you became a vibration of accountability. You couldn't be around deception without it surfacing. You couldn't stay silent in the face of lies without your silence becoming thunder. People either evolved with you, or life forced them to evolve through loss. Your energy was never random. It was designed to hold a spiritual frequency that made falsehoods collapse under the weight of presence. Carl Jung taught us that people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. And that's what happened. Your very existence became an invitation to heal, to grow, or to destroy themselves, trying to avoid the mirror you held up. Those who tried to reduce you to a disposable chapter now reread your presence as a sacred scripture they misjudged. You were the lesson they didn't want, but now crave. And no apology, no closure, no revision can erase what their actions etched into karma. Your purity never needed to prove itself. It simply revealed the impurity around it. The discomfort people felt in your presence was never about your energy being too much. It was about their masks cracking under the heat of your authenticity. Some chose transformation and were blessed. Others chose resistance and were broken. Not because you wanted revenge, but because the universe doesn't allow deception to flourish around divine frequency. Your spiritual awakening was their spiritual consequence. You weren't their punishment, you were their opportunity. And now, they live with the echo of your absence. They watch your light stretch beyond their reach, and in that distance, they meet themselves. Let them remember. Let them carry that weight. Your path now is elevation, not explanation. Keep rising. Let your growth be karma. Let your peace be the proof. Let your spiritual wisdom be the silence that speaks louder than regret. Comment below. I am a mirror of truth. If you embrace your power to reveal and transform, let your presence be the force that awakens those around you. 2. You are both a blessing and a warning. You are both a blessing and a warning because your presence is not just emotional, it's energetic, psychological, and karmic. Carl Jung reminded us that people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. And when they meet you, they're not just meeting a person, they're meeting everything they haven't faced. You don't walk into a room quietly, you vibrate truth into the spaces where people have lived in lies. You shake the illusions, you wake the asleep, you reveal the subconscious. Your very existence activates unresolved karma in others, and for those living in denial, that's terrifying. You are the living mirror that reflects their shadows, their guilt, and their mistreatment of others. You're not here to punish, but you are here to reveal. And sometimes, the most spiritual thing you can do is not allow someone back into your life just so they can avoid learning the lesson your absence is meant to teach. Your silence speaks volumes, and your distance is not cruelty, it's divine intelligence. People will regret how they treated you, not because you raised your voice, but because you removed your energy. You are not revenge, you are realization. You are not rage, you are resonance. You are not here to play small, so others feel secure in their illusions. You are here to shake the foundation of falsehood. And the moment someone tries to manipulate you, your spirit responds with spiritual wisdom they didn't see coming. That's why you feel misunderstood, because you're not here to be understood by the asleep. You're here to awaken them. You don't just shine light. You show people what's been hiding in the dark. When someone disrespects you, they're not just hurting a person, they're dishonoring a divine assignment. That's why the consequences feel spiritual. That's why their guilt lingers. You are not just someone they mistreated. You are the karmic checkpoint in their journey, the one who marks the line between who they were and who they're now forced to become. You were sent as a gift, but when they couldn't see that, the universe transformed your energy into a teacher. Some people won't learn until you walk away. Some souls won't awaken until they feel the loss of your energy. That's when they realize you weren't just kindness. You were karmic accountability wrapped in grace. You are both medicine and mirror. To the aligned, you're healing. To the unhealed, you're a warning. Carl Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, and you force people to see themselves completely. That's why you intimidate. That's why your aura can't be faked. You embody truth. You move with discernment. You vibrate with clarity, and that makes you spiritually untouchable. You're not here to prove your worth. You are the worth others must rise to meet. And until they do, your energy will haunt them, not out of malice, but out of misalignment. Because people never forget the moment they met someone who made them feel both exposed and inspired by someone who could have been a forever blessing if only they had been ready to receive it. You are the storm and the stillness, the lesson and the love, the test and the treasure. Your presence rewrites timelines. Your energy awakens sleeping souls. And the longer they took you for granted, the more profound the realization becomes. They didn't just lose a person. They lost a karmic miracle dressed in human form. You are not here to be easy. You are here to be unforgettable. You are both a blessing and a warning. And the ones who truly see you will never make the mistake of confusing the two. 3. People regret mistreating you. When people mistreat you and later regret it, it is never just about emotions or broken relationships. It runs much deeper. Carl Jung reminded us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And your presence forces people to face that unconscious truth. As a chosen one, you embody a rare form of spirituality that unsettles those who are not ready for growth. Your energy works like a mirror, reflecting their hidden fears, their insecurities, and their unresolved shadows. Some resist that reflection, refusing accountability, rejecting development, and mocking the very light that was sent to bless them. But the moment you step away, the absence of your spiritual presence shifts the balance of their lives. What once brought them peace, healing, and wisdom is gone, and they are left to wrestle with the consequences of their actions. You carry a divine light that not only guides your own path, but also illuminates the darkness in others. When people betray, deceive, or dismiss you, they are not simply harming you. They are rejecting the higher frequency of spirituality you brought into their lives. And the universe, which always seeks balance, responds with precision. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." Those who choose manipulation, envy, or deceit align themselves with negativity, and karma begins its work. When you leave, you take your sacred energy with you, and suddenly they notice opportunities fading, relationships collapsing, and inner peace replaced by chaos. At first, denial blinds them. Pride convinces them they are unaffected. Yet time has a way of revealing truth, and gradually they realize that life was smoother, lighter, and fuller when you were near. Regret becomes their silent companion. They watch you from a distance, hoping you have stumbled, but instead they see you thriving, rising higher, and walking in alignment with your destiny. That success becomes their unspoken punishment, not because you sought revenge, but because the universe restores balance. As written in Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, "Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Your elevation becomes living proof that spiritual development always triumphs over betrayal and dishonor. Every new level you reach takes you into a frequency that cannot be accessed by those who mistreated you, unless they choose humility, healing, and self-awareness. But not everyone is prepared for that path. Healing demands courage, and many would rather linger in regret than confront their shadows. That is why they remain as spectators, observing your growth while chained by their own choices. Yet their regret is not your responsibility. You are not here to soothe their conscience or carry their lessons. You are here to grow, to embody greatness, and to fulfill the divine plan over your life. No betrayal can block what has been written for you. So let them watch and let them wonder, but never let their regret hold you back. Your presence is rare, your energy is sacred, and your journey is designed to elevate you beyond the reach of those who once underestimated you. Each step forward is proof that your spiritual development cannot be hindered by the past. Continue to rise, continue to trust the balance of karma, and remember that your destiny is unfolding exactly as it should. Are you ready to step into your power and let the universe handle the rest? If so, comment below. I rise above to affirm your strength and embrace your journey forward. 4. You disrupt illusions. You disrupt illusions simply by existing, because your very energy carries a force that unsettles those who hide behind deception. You do not need to expose lies with effort, for your essence itself reflects truth. When you enter a room, facades begin to crumble, not because you attack them, but because authenticity naturally dissolves what is false. Those who resist change feel uncomfortable in your presence, and instead of admitting that your light reveals their shadows, they project blame onto you. They see you as the cause of their unease, when in reality, you are the mirror reflecting what they do not wish to face. For some, you embody living karma. You do not wish harm upon anyone, but your spiritual awakening acts as a constant reminder of the integrity and courage they lack. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In the same way, your presence forces others to confront what they hide, and when they are not ready, they turn to criticism, rejection, or attempts to dim your light. They do not realize that their discomfort is not about you, but about their resistance to transformation. Deep down, they know your very being urges them to evolve, yet they remain in the battle they are unwilling to fight. You have been underestimated many times. Your kindness was mistaken for weakness, your silence for ignorance. People thought they could take advantage of your generosity, only to later feel the emptiness when you withdrew. Regret then begins to haunt them, for they remember dismissing you, rejecting your wisdom, or trying to wound your spirit, only to discover They are stuck in cycles you broke free from long ago. While they remain bound by illusions, you rise higher, embrace peace, and transform pain into strength. As Jung said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." And you chose growth. Your journey was never about revenge or proving yourself. You never needed validation from those who could not see your worth. Every betrayal and every rejection became a divine test, shaping you into someone unshakable. You walked through the fire, not to be destroyed by it, but to emerge purified and resilient. That is the essence of intelligent spiritual wisdom. It is not merely seeing the truth, but embodying it with every step. Never dim your light to make others comfortable. Those meant for you will recognize and honor your truth, while those who resist will only reveal their own nature. You are not here to please. You are here to awaken, to inspire, and to heal. When people regret how they treated you, it is not your burden to carry, for that lesson belongs to them. Your presence alone is a catalyst for transformation, and though not everyone can handle it, those who are destined will be drawn to your light. Keep walking in alignment, for your path is sacred, and your awakening is the proof that truth cannot be silenced. If you're ready to break free from illusions and embrace the truth, don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's awaken together. 5. You are a reflection and a test. You were never just another person walking through life. You were always a mirror, a reflection of truth that others could not ignore. Simply by being yourself, you revealed the hidden nature of those around you. Some felt uplifted and inspired in your presence because your light awakened the part of them that longed for growth. Others, confronted by their own shadows, rejected you, mistreated you, or even betrayed you. Their treatment of you was never about your worth. It was always a reflection of their own inner struggles. As Carl Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. In this sense, you are living karma, a reminder that no one can escape the energy they release into the world. Your energy works like a spiritual mirror, exposing what lies beneath the surface. Those who are honest and aligned with growth recognize you as a blessing. They see in you wisdom, resilience, and authenticity, and they are drawn closer to their own truth through your presence. But those who live in dishonesty and illusion feel threatened by you. Your light unsettles them, reminding them of their own shortcomings, and instead of confronting themselves, they project their discomfort onto you. They may belittle you, disrespect you, or try to dim your presence, but none of this defines you. Their actions are only proof of their own fear and insecurity. This is why some people feel peace around you, while others carry resentment. Those who cherish you are walking in alignment with truth. They feel your energy as guidance. Those who resist you are clinging to falsehood, unable to face what your presence reveals. In modern life, you can see this clearly in relationships, workplaces, and friendships. Genuine souls will honor you, while insecure ones will compete, gossip, or try to undermine you. But their reactions are not yours to carry. You are not meant to shrink yourself to ease their discomfort. The universe balances everything, and the law of karma never fails. When people mistreat you, they set the stage for their own lessons. Life has a way of circling back, showing them the cost of their choices. You don't need to seek revenge or prove anything. The same people who overlooked or betrayed you will one day regret it, not because you wish for it, but because they will feel the emptiness of losing your energy. Your presence is not replaceable, and its absence becomes a silent teacher. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand apart as a beacon of truth. Being chosen comes with challenges, isolation, misunderstanding, and betrayal. Yet it also comes with divine protection. Every difficulty strengthens your spirit and deepens your wisdom. Your task is not to fight battles already taken care of by the universe, but to keep shining, keep walking, and trust the path unfolding before you. Those meant to journey with you will find you, and those who cannot handle your light will remove themselves. Your presence alone is enough. You are living karma, a reflection of truth, and proof that no one escapes the energy they put into the world. If this message resonates with you, comment below, "I am a mirror," to embrace your true reflection and attract clarity into your life. 6. You trigger change in people. There is a power within you that you may not even recognize, yet others feel it the moment they are in your presence. Carl Jung reminded us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And this is exactly why your energy unsettles people. You are not trying to intimidate or expose them, but your very being becomes a mirror reflecting the parts of themselves they work so hard to hide. Your presence draws out their shadows, their unspoken guilt, their buried insecurities, and that is why some people feel nervous, restless, or even threatened around you. Gloria Steinem's words capture this perfectly. The truth will set you free, but first, it will make you uncomfortable. You are that uncomfortable truth, a living reminder of what they are avoiding within themselves. Because of this, some may distance themselves or even mistreat you, not because you are in the wrong, but because your light reveals what they cannot bear to face. They may mock you, betray you, or dismiss your kindness, but every action is just a reflection of their inner conflict. Yet life is always ruled by balance, and spiritual wisdom teaches us that energy will always return to its source. The love you give, the patience you show, the light you carry, all of it will come back multiplied. And the pain, dishonesty, or cruelty directed toward you will also circle back, not through your revenge, but through the natural laws of karma. In time, those who underestimated you will see their actions clearly, and regret will rise in their hearts. By then, you will already be beyond their reach, elevated into a higher state of spiritual development where their opinions no longer matter. Gandhi once said, "First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win." And your life is proof of this timeless truth. You don't need to fight back or prove your worth. Your growth is your victory. Your transformation is your answer, and your success is your karma. Without any effort to harm them, those who mistreated you will face the very lessons they tried to avoid. Life will orchestrate moments that mirror their behavior, and when that time comes, they will remember how they treated you. But their regret is not a weight for you to carry. It belongs to them. Your only responsibility is to keep walking your path, to keep shining, and to keep rising higher in your divine purpose. As another wise saying goes, when you are truly powerful, you do not need to harm others. Your energy alone rearranges the universe, so never shrink to make others feel comfortable. Never dim your light for spaces that were never designed to hold it. You are not here to fit in. You are here to shift energies, to awaken truth, and to embody transformation. Spirituality is not about pleasing everyone. It is about living as proof that light always overcomes shadow. Those who mistreated you will eventually look back with regret, but by then, you will already be walking in your destiny, radiant and untouchable. Your life itself is a lesson in spiritual wisdom, and your energy is the undeniable reminder that the universe always brings balance. If this message resonates with you, affirm your power in the comments. My energy transforms everything around me. I embrace my divine presence and limitless potential. 7. Your silence is powerful. Those who once mistreated you, belittled you, or tried to manipulate your spirit will eventually face the undeniable truth that they were wrong about you, because your silence was never weakness, but a force they could not comprehend. They thrived on your reactions, feeding off your anger, your explanations, your attempts to defend yourself, and they believed their control depended on how deeply they could pull you into their chaos. But when you chose to master yourself, when you stopped responding and refused to engage, everything they built crumbled. Silence stripped away their illusions and exposed the emptiness of their power. Suddenly, their words echoed back to them. Their manipulation turned into noise they could no longer escape, and the darkness they tried to project outward forced them to confront itself. There is profound spiritual wisdom in this choice. Silence is not surrender. It is elevation. It is the act of rising above the battlefield and refusing to wrestle in the mud with those who crave your energy. As the saying goes, never wrestle with pigs. You both get dirty, but only the pig enjoys it. By walking away, you shift the power dynamic, because the moment you remove yourself, they lose access to your light, your patience, and your sacred energy. In modern life, whether in relationships, workplaces, or friendships, this truth repeats itself when you stop explaining, stop defending, and simply move forward. You reclaim your peace and declare that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on chaos. Those who wronged you are left to sit in the misery they once tried to inflict upon you. Without your kindness, without your presence, without your light, their world feels hollow and regret takes root. And here lies the divine truth. You are their karma. Not by seeking revenge, not by lowering yourself to their level, but simply by continuing to live in alignment with your truth. Your growth, your success, your serenity become proof that their attempts to break you only made you stronger. This is the essence of spirituality and spiritual awakening. To rise above manipulation, to transform pain into power, and to let your very existence be the mirror that reflects their mistakes back to them. Every step you take in silence, every moment you choose peace over reaction, becomes a declaration that your soul cannot be controlled. They may regret how they treated you, but by the time they awaken to your worth, you will already have ascended beyond their reach. Your silence is power, your energy is sacred, and your elevation is the greatest response of all. Stay connected with our community of wisdom by subscribing to our channel. Here, we uncover the truth about energy, manipulation, and self-mastery, empowering you to rise above negativity. Remember, your peace is your power. Choose silence, walk away, and let them face their own darkness. 8. You are sent to stand out, not fit in. You were never meant to blend into the background because the universe designed you to stand out. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And your true self carries an energy that cannot be hidden. Without forcing, without demanding, your very presence shifts the atmosphere. People feel something stir inside them when they meet you, even if they cannot name it. Some are inspired, awakened to their own journey of self-discovery, while others feel exposed because your light uncovers the shadows they have been trying to bury. This is why you have known betrayal, rejection, and resistance, not as proof of weakness, but as evidence of the deep truths your spirit reveals to those who come close. Your energy does not attract attention because you seek it, but because your soul vibrates at a frequency that demands change. No one can stay stagnant around you. They are either inspired to rise higher, or their hidden nature surfaces, showing who they really are. That is why you may have been dismissed, disrespected, or taken for granted in past relationships. Those who mistreated you failed to recognize that they had been given the rare opportunity to walk beside someone carrying intelligence, spiritual wisdom, and a soul awakened to its divine essence. Now, as you grow stronger, they carry the weight of regret, realizing too late that your presence was not just company, it was transformation. You do not need to chase revenge or force people to regret how they treated you, because your life itself is karma in motion. The universe balances what you cannot. The lessons you left in the lives of others echo long after you have moved forward. Some will one day realize they stood in the presence of someone extraordinary, someone whose light was a gift. But by the time that revelation arrives, you will already have stepped into a greater version of yourself, rising higher, walking with clarity, and aligned with your divine calling. Jung reminds us, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You were the mirror that forced them to see what they tried to hide, and now their fate is to live with the truth they once denied. To be chosen is to embrace the solitude that sometimes comes with the path. It means accepting that not everyone is meant to stand beside you. Some drift away, not because you are unworthy, but because they are unready for the transformation your presence demands. Do not dim your light to ease their discomfort. You were born to awaken, to heal, and to inspire. The universe has placed you exactly where you need to be, surrounded by those who are ready to rise with you, while others fall away by the natural law of growth. Every rejection, every betrayal, and every ounce of regret others carry is simply part of the design that pushes you closer to your destiny. Stay unwavering, because your journey is unfolding with divine precision. Let people remember you, regret losing you, and learn from the absence of your energy. You were never created to fit in. You were created to stand out as a living reminder that light cannot be hidden. This is the essence of spiritual awakening, the intelligence of spiritual wisdom, and the sacred truth of walking as your authentic self. 9. Your energy is unstoppable. Your energy is unstoppable, carrying a frequency that no manipulation or attack could ever suppress, because what sustains you is not external, but deeply spiritual, a force that no human hand can take away. Many mistook your humility for weakness and your kindness for naivety, believing they had control over your destiny. Yet you were always aware, always discerning, sensing the betrayals before they unfolded, and choosing not to fall into the trap of proving them wrong, but to remain faithful to proving yourself right. Now, as you rise into your true power, those who once sought to diminish your light are forced to watch from the shadows, unable to ignore the brilliance of your transformation, because spiritual awakening does not shrink under pressure. It expands, it elevates, it transforms, and you, the chosen one, are the very embodiment of transformation. Every hardship you endured was not wasted, but woven into the fabric of your becoming. Every tear, sleepless night, and lonely silence became a sacred initiation, not punishment, but preparation. For the path of a chosen soul was never meant to be easy. Betrayal taught you discernment. Loss carved resilience into your spirit. Solitude gave you unshakable faith in yourself and in the divine order guiding your steps. Looking back, the once insurmountable obstacles now reveal themselves as stepping stones, shaping your strength, awakening your spirit, and proving that what once looked like suffering was in truth the refining fire of destiny. Those who laughed at your pain now stand silenced by your triumph, burdened by regret, as they realize you were never a victim, but a vessel of greatness they could not comprehend. The world has long conditioned people to stay small, to settle for mediocrity, to fear the unknown, but your very essence refuses to be confined by such limits. You are not here to blend in. You are here to disrupt illusions, to shift realities, to break generational cycles, to awaken others from the sleep of conformity. Your presence alone challenges the false comfort of the ordinary, and that is why your path was heavy, because the energy you carry is powerful enough to stir the very fabric of existence. And now, as you rise beyond every limitation, those who doubted you are confronted by the undeniable truth of your transformation, witnessing divine justice unfold in real time, forced to face that their mistreatment was never hidden from the universe. You are the living proof that spiritual power transcends all boundaries, the embodiment of karma itself, reminding the world that every word, every action, every intention leaves an imprint. Those who once dismissed your vision now long to understand the secret of your radiance, yet they cannot, because the energy you embody cannot be duplicated. It is divine, it is rare, it is yours alone. While they wrestle with regret, you move forward untouched, unstoppable, aligned fully with your higher calling. You are the karma they never foresaw, the lesson they never wanted to learn, the truth they cannot escape. You stand tall in your authenticity, walking in a light that was never meant to be hidden, carrying a power the world has yet to see in full. And when it does, they will know they never had the power to break you, for you were always destined to rise. If this message has awakened something deep within you, affirm your power in the comments. I am unstoppable. Every challenge has made me stronger. I am here to transform reality. 10. Solitude was part of your journey. There were moments when solitude pressed against your heart like an unbearable weight, when the people you trusted turned their backs, and relationships that once felt unshakable suddenly fell apart. Yet that solitude was never a curse. It was a blessing in disguise, a divine stage of preparation. The universe was not abandoning you, but refining you, sharpening your vision, deepening your intuition, and strengthening your inner power so you could carry the kind of wisdom that cannot be taught by comfort. In the stillness of those lonely hours, you found clarity to see through deception, resilience to rise from betrayal, and courage to continue even when no one else stood beside you. As Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you, and every wound you carried became the opening through which your light poured. Once, you were dismissed, underestimated, and even mocked. Your kindness was misread as weakness, your loyalty taken for granted. But now, those same people watch from afar, filled with regret. They sense the shift in your energy, the undeniable presence you carry, the aura of wisdom and strength that demands respect. You have become divinely set apart, and in losing you, they lost a blessing they never understood. Their regret is their karma, the return of their own choices, the echo of every moment they failed to honor what was sacred. You never needed revenge because your transformation itself became the answer. The universe worked on your behalf, and your thriving became the most powerful response to betrayal. As Carl Jung revealed, until people make the unconscious conscious, it directs their lives, and they call it fate. Those who wronged you now confront the consequences of their unconscious actions, seeing clearly only after you have risen beyond them. Your existence, your success, your healing, these speak louder than any words of retaliation could. The law of energy is simple. What we give is what we receive, and their own choices have returned to them. You are no longer the person they once knew. You have elevated, healed, and embraced your spiritual power. Spirituality and spiritual development have transformed you into someone aligned with a greater destiny, one that surpasses the imagination of those who doubted you. Your solitude was not abandonment, but sacred preparation, a divine pause to reconnect you with your higher calling. It was never about who left or who stayed. It was about awakening the light within you that no one could take away. Do not dwell on the past or waste your energy on those who failed to see your worth. Walk boldly into your destiny, trusting that divine timing has always been on your side. Your life now stands as living proof that pain can transform into wisdom, betrayal into strength, and solitude into awakening. And as those who once underestimated you look on with regret, they will finally understand you were never just another person in their story. You were the lesson their soul had to learn. If this message resonates with you, comment, "I am grateful for my transformation," to affirm your journey. Your solitude was never abandonment, it was preparation. And remember this, just because they couldn't see your worth doesn't mean it wasn't there. Carl Jung once said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." So keep rising, keep walking in your truth, and let karma do its quiet work. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. Tap the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos, because your journey of spiritual growth is just beginning.